I'm Charlie, I sing in the band Charming Liars.
I'm Mike, I play bass. I'm Connick and I play in the same band as them. Guitar.
Nice. Now we're here at the Uproar Festival today, you guys. So far on tour, what has been the coolest moment?
The coolest moment, I think one that stood out is early on in the tour. I can't remember which town we were in. I think it might have been Mansfield, Massachusetts, something like that. Coheed and Cambria, one of the headliners, who also are one of our favorite bands on the tour, had an after party. And so like they hosted an after party. We played a game of cornhole, which we'd never played before. We were losing 20-8. We came back and won. That was a good moment. And then Claudia, the singer of Coheed, was serving drinks. And I never thought at any point in my life would I be ordering a good vodka and coke from Claudia, the singer of Coheed and Cambria. That was the standout moment.
You want to try some Belgian there?
Hi, you guys. Can you keep your voices down? We're doing a video interview. Thank you. The microphone's heading right in your direction. Thank you. Okay, sorry about that interruption, you guys. Did you guys have any other standout moments?
That was the best one. It sounds pretty corny, but getting to see all these bands play every day has been pretty awesome. Every day, the set that every band plays is amazing. We know all the songs now. We know them personally as friends, which is awesome. And it's warming my heart just thinking about it.
Nice. Now, there's 3 questions that I ask everyone. Just because I can. They sound like some hogwash, I'll warn you, but there is a psychological basis behind them.
Okay.
First off, if you guys were a unicorn and you could be any color but white, what color would you be, and would you have any special powers?
You can take this one. If I was a unicorn,
I'd be blue.
say black, you.
Why black?
Of course.
That's cool.
No, it's his question.
It's mine.
You guys can all answer.
Okay.
I'd be blue. If I had special powers, I'd be able to, just have infinite wisdom as a unicorn.
Going down the line?
We'll get this one. I would be a black unicorn because they're really mystical and cool, and my special power would be to be wiser than his unicorn. I would be a red unicorn because I love red. Red's a great color, and I'd have the unicorn play guitar.
That's a special power for a unicorn.
Yeah. For a unicorn,
For a human being.
Next psychological question. If you were a yogurt and you could be any flavor, this does not have to be a traditional flavor, so feel free to use your imagination. What flavor would you be, and how would you be served?
Okay, well, I'm gonna be super traditional because this is like a nostalgic thing for me. Growing up from like the age of like 2 or 3 in preschool or kindergarten or whatever it was, I would have vanilla yogurt served with a couple tablespoons of sugar in it in a nice kind of open, like flat bowl kind of edges. And like every time I have that nowadays, it makes me feel incredible, and I don't want to change it because it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's my yogurt serving choice.
How would you like it to be served?
I said in the bowl.
Oh, in a bowl. Okay, I would like to have a vanilla yogurt, or yogurt, as we say, because that is my favourite yogurt flavour, and I would have it served to me by a beautiful lady. Beat that, bitch.
I would have a Greek yogurt, and I put chocolate on the top, and I'll have it served. I'll have it served on a lovely kind of tulip. Kind of with a spoon, put the yogurt on the tulip, and then kind of lick the flower.
Lick the flower,
yeah.
You get it that.
Third psychological question. Describe yourself as far as physical characteristics and personality traits. Describe yourself as either a dog, a cat, or a cartoon.
For both physical and personality trait, what animal would we be? Is that the question? I'm 100% a dog. I think I'm a terrier. I think I'm a Jack Russell Terrier.
What is that?
Jack Russell Terrier. It's a feisty little dog.
Physically, not necessarily the speed of one, but a greyhound I think would be probably the best dog to describe me as. And yes, I'm fast in every possible way.
Very, very quick.
Yes, very quick. Lightning fast.
Like
You won't
two
even
pump
feel it.
chump
I mean,
or what?
see it.
Too quick. What did you say?
I said 2 pump chump.
One.
Mikey is 2 pump chum.
Chris, I'm sorry. It was like
Fine,
you guys are
fine. No, I'm not offended
You
by
said
it.
every way. My bad.
That's funny.
I'd be a pit bull.
So you're a dog as well.
If I was a dog. If I was a cat, I don't know anything about cats. That's why I'm a dog, and I'm a pit bull.
Nice. Okay, this next question, feel free to pull in dead people.
Okay.
What is your biggest musical fantasy?
I have fantasies that include musical people. Whether that counts as a musical fantasy,
Yeah.
might be another, I don't know, fantasy. I think it'd be a combination of like headlining a festival, and not saying that this would ever happen or work, but a combination of us headlining like Reading Festival in the UK alongside like Slipknot and Ashley Simpson and Outkast. That would be incredible. Let's make it happen.
Nice.
I think they're all ready to be booked. I think an agent out there is just suddenly like, yes, it's gonna happen.
That's a good show.
My musical fantasy that I can actually say now that won't get me in trouble would be, no, I'm cool for Lemonade, thank you. Where would it be? I'd like to have gone to Woodstock. That would have been pretty cool. I know that's lame, but
No.
That's so lame.
I know it's lame.
My fantasy would be to be in a small room with Kurt Cobain, to write a little riff with him, and then to bounce ideas off each other, and then make a hit.
Nice. Let's back it up to some of the basic questions. For each of you, this is a 3-part question. How did you first get started in music? Did you come from a musical family? And what were your early influences?
Good question.
I think we should start back here.
Okay.
Did I come from a musical family? No. I have, distant family members doing awesome things in music, but I wouldn't say my direct family were particularly musical. I wouldn't say I'm particularly musical for that matter. However, like a lot of people starting high school do, you start a band. I started a band with this guy when we were about 12, 13. And then when we were about 15, Mikey Day right here joined.
Best time of your life, right?
This is a personal thing for you.
Well, I'm just saying, this is my introduction to playing music. My first introduction to music was probably, a Michael Jackson album. That's probably it. Anyway, what was yours?
So, I don't come from a musical family at all. My mum likes to think she can sing, but I know for a fact that she can't. My first kind of musical influence and memory was when I was probably about 13. I saw a member of the Sex Pistols play Pretty Bacon.
Is this going to be on YouTube or what? Yeah?
It might be on YouTube, yeah.
On the YouTube.
He hasn't moved at all.
Yeah, I know, he's my assistant. Thank you.
Where were we? I saw a member of the Sex Pistols play Pretty Bacon, and at that point in time I was very vulnerable and open to any kind of musical experience. And at that moment I decided I wanted to be a drummer. And I asked my mum for a drum kit for Christmas and she said no. And Christmas Day came around, thinking I'd get a drum kit, she bought me a guitar. I was really upset. I didn't play it for about a month until I realised, oh wait a second, I can turn up really loud and press this button that makes it distorted, and then my life changed forever. And that was my musical upbringing.
Tough act to follow. I'm not from a musical family at all. My parents maybe played piano. I hated it. It hurt my back. I couldn't sit up straight. I hated it. And I had a cousin who played guitar, and he got a lot of girls, and I didn't get any girls. So I thought, okay, if I want to get some girls, I should play the guitar. And
How did that work out for you?
it didn't work out at all. I still didn't get any girls. And I was like, why? And that's how I started playing guitar. And a moment, are we doing a moment? A special moment? A musical moment? I think it was seeing Incubus play at Wembley, which is a big venue in England. And I just thought, wow, I want to be up there. I want to be up there with that band. Yeah.
With that band.
With that band.
And look where you are today.
At that moment, I wanted to be with that band on that stage.
Now, going into concerts, for each of you, what was the first concert that you guys ever saw, and what was your first vivid musical moment?
Vivid musical moment. First concert I ever went to would have been probably the Backstreet Boys when I was about 7 years old. It was that or some bubblegum pop thing. I used to love pop music, like most children do. That was the first concert, the first rock concert I went to. I can't even remember now. It was... Pardon? Probably, yeah, like Blink or Linkin Park or Puddle of Mud or something, and I was about 12 years old. That was the first, I think, like, being at a rock concert at a young age like that in London, you know, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds weren't allowed in the venues at the time. You had to be like 14 or 16 to get in. And so like getting in, sneaking in at the age of 12 at a rock gig in London, like getting in the mosh pit and doing all that stuff, that was like the first taste of something, you know, very, very different and awesome. So yeah.
My first concert was a German industrial band called Rammstein. And I was not allowed to go on my own, so my dad had to come with me. And my vivid memory from that show, which is one of my first musical memories, is I went with a group of my friends, my dad all took, and we were standing probably half a mile back from the stage, but we thought we were cool enough to start a mosh pit. So we are back behind the sound desk, 13-year-old kids moshing amongst each other, and it was the most fun I've ever had at a show, apart from our shows, which are more fun than Rammstein shows or any band shows. That's me.
Nice. My first rock concert, I think, was System of a Down at a venue called Brixton Academy.
Nice, I toured on Ozfest with those guys.
Yeah, they're like one of my favorite bands. That was, I think, in 2002.
Yeah, that's when I toured on Ozfest.
Yeah, they were on Ozfest Day. Yeah. And a great memory from that show is sitting all the way up in the seats because I was too young to go in the pit.
Why is that a good memory?
Yeah. It's a good memory because every show after that show has been in the pit. So my first show and the only show I've sat right at the top. So I remember it. It does count. It does count. It counts, right? It counts.
For each of you, what is your favorite musical technique? Or if you guys have a signature technique, anything like that?
Musical technique. I don't know if there's a particular
Warming up.
I guess it's warming up. I don't know. I didn't have much technique. I tend to have a couple signature moves on stage. One involves me doing this, like a boxer.
It's a new move actually.
And then there's like percussive things that the drums do that I like to like accent with my hands. Like there's a bit in a riff where it goes dum and I do dum at the same time, and it looks pretty fucking cool, and stuff like that.
Nice.
If any musicians out there have seen us live, they'll know that I have no technique at all. So basically, I like to drink a Rockstar before I play and try and go as mental as humanly possible and try not to get sweat in my eyes. That's normally number one technique for me, is to not blind myself with sweat. If I can achieve that during the duration of a show, then I've had a good show. And I have some guy who comes up and wipes my face now, so we've really made it. We really have.
Do I have any techniques?
You're just a rocking guitarist.
Yeah, I like to drink a lot of water before I go on stage. And then when I'm on stage, I like to sweat like an animal. And I have a move where I kind of go like this. Yeah. Oh, when I'm playing, I like to have a move that goes like this.
That just happened. That did just happen.
Do you guys have any advice for musicians who are just now starting out?
The main advice would be doing it for the right reasons, doing it for the love. It's so hard to build a career or any sort of like solid momentum in music. So if you don't really love what you're doing, then that would be probably not the right choice for you. So make sure you love it and then just work hard on your instrument and never give up.
For me, it would be patience. Patience is a virtue. Some people get into this game thinking that it's going to happen overnight. We've been playing music together for almost 10 years now, and only just are we beginning to see things moving in the right direction. We've had a lot of trouble and strife to get to this point, but we've stuck at it because we love what we do and because we believe in what we do. And we've had a lot of people who've tried to tell us that we can't do what we want to do. But you just got to believe in yourself, believe in what you want to do, and make it happen. And have patience. Seriously, it will happen if you work hard enough at it.
Discipline and focus. You know,
Yes, Dad.
yeah. If you want to. You know, if you want to be a guitar player or a singer in a band, just make sure you give your all and don't do it half-assed, because it's very rare that you're going to get somewhere if you do it half-assed.
What do you guys have coming up in the future? Where can people find their music? And is there anything you guys are working on that you want to talk about or plug, things we want to mention?
Yeah, there's a few things. I mean, we're on the Uproar tour for a good 3 weeks to a month left. And so we're going to continue doing that, and as soon as that ends, we start another tour around North America with an awesome band called the Sick Puppies. So we do that for another month. That takes us back across the country a couple times. And then right now what we've basically got out is our EP. It's called New Disorder. It's the single, and it's the title track for this EP. And on the EP is 4 tracks from this album that we've made, which we're going to be putting out in the new year. We just didn't want to put it out too early. So essentially the idea was that we put out a few tracks, give people a taste of what was to come, and then in the new year push the album with a few maybe bonus tracks. So yeah, that's kind of what we're up to at the moment. And New Disorder has an amazing music video featuring sexy young crazy nuns with crossbows running around LA causing a lot of havoc.
I've seen that, that was cool.
You liked it?
Yeah.
So that's worth checking out if you haven't checked it out already.
Basically what he said. He nailed it. That's why he gets paid the big bucks with a singer, because he just knows his shit. Quick on the draw. We're being paid to look good, which he unfortunately doesn't do.
Now guys, is there anything we have not talked about that you want to make sure we include in here?
I think, is there anything we haven't talked about? If you made it good at all, I think the main thing is that if we want to say thank you to all the people that have been coming out to the Uproar shows so far, all the new fans that we've made, all the new friends that we've made as well, people who've come to the signings at the Only Ball tent that we've been doing in the merch tent, and for those of you who are going to be coming out to the next Uproar shows or our shows across the states with Sick Puppies and stuff, please come say hi. He may look crazy, but he doesn't bite. He's very friendly. He's a BFG. That's oh, sorry, big friendly guy. I was gonna say GBF. But that means something completely different. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us. Have a beautiful rest of the tour.
Thank you.
Grazie, molto bene.
Grazie bella.